Good morning to all of you. I am going to continue the same topic that I have started yesterday, that is Human Rights Commission. Okay, in 2 lectures I have finished about National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. The topic is same, it's about Human Rights Commission, but today it is not at the central level, it is somehow at the state level. We will talk it about. So I hope all the facts related to the NHRC is clear to all of you. There are no important facts regarding the NHRC is left. That's why I have left that topic. Okay, if any or single sentences will be remaining important, I will cover in separate sessions. Okay, in covered in tests if remaining. But till now I have found that no other important topics inside NHRC is left in perspective of our examination. So today we will somehow move to a side of NHRC, but we will keep in momentum of human rights. So what we are going to do today, let's see. Okay, so moving to the next one, and we will see today's topic of our polity session. So let's see here. Okay, moving. See, it's about a state human rights commission. Okay, earlier it was National Human Rights Commission. Now it is a state human rights commission, like Election Commission of India and a state election commission. Have you got it? I have clarified all these aspects in our polity sessions. If you will see my previous lectures, you can easily understand that what is meant by union level and what is meant by at the state level. So before today's session, I have taught you about a state human rights commission. It's today, but earlier it was National Human Rights Commission. So that is called NHRC. It is called SHRC. Its short form is SHRC, a State Human Rights Commission. Okay, almost the similar one. If you will properly analyze the two videos of NHRC, then definitely you are going to cover all the aspects of SHRC too, because there is only little bit different somehow. Okay, the framework is almost the same one, somehow alike, not like. So let's see, we are moving to the next slide and we will see that how it is different from NHRC. Okay, I will somehow, by concluding it, that is SHRC, that is today's session, I will somehow relate or differentiate it with NHRC too, so that you are able to relate or even differentiate between both of them, that is between NHRC and SHRC. So let's see and move to the next slide. So see, the State Human Rights Commission have been established as under the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So tell me, is it the same act, that is the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993? Is it the same act on which it is the basis of formation of establishment of NHRC have take place? Is it the same act, Protection of Human Rights Act 1993? Yes, definitely. Okay, so on the basis of same act, that is the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, on the basis of same act, okay, this State Human Rights Commission has been formed. After 1993, after the formation of National Human Rights Commission, gradually almost all the states gradually have set up their State Human Rights Commission. So it is a similarity between NHRC and SHRC. Okay, that NHRC is also established on the basis of Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, and even SHRC is also formatted and regulated, established, okay, formed on the basis of which act? On the basis of Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So both bodies, that is both the commission, that is SHRC and NHRC, both has been formed on the same act. Okay, both have the same base of formation, that is Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So I hope the similarities between both of them it's clear to all of you. So should I move to the next one? So let's see in another slide. See, till now, till at present time, whichever I am talking about right now, okay, means in the morning of 26th of August. So till now at this time 25 states, right now there are total 28 states and 8 union territories in India. I have also given those names. So till now 25 states have established the State Human Rights Commission. Okay, out of the 28 states, out of 28, 25 states have established a State Human Rights Commission in their states. Okay, it is the duty of each and every state, obligation of each and every state to form and establish a state human rights commission. So gradually, okay, one by one, till now 25 states out of 28 states, okay, out of 28 till now 25 states have established SHRC. Fine, through their official gazette notification, means through official announcement, because this is the official position. Okay, so if anybody will be set up through official position, official post, then definitely there will be official notification released in the office of gazette of a state. So let's see to the next slide, and we will see that which states have till now not established the States Human Rights Commission. So let's see. Arunachal Pradesh. I hope the history behind the formation of the state of Arunachal Pradesh is clear to all of you. Okay, from Tamil Nadu to Andhra state, from Andhra state to Andhra Pradesh, from Andhra Pradesh to Telangana. This way the series of history behind the formation of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana too. So Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Nagaland, these are the three states out of 28 states. Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Nagaland, these are the three states till now which do not have established a States Human Rights Commission. So this is important for you. Okay, if you will remember those three names, then you will automatically remember the names of those 25 states, that yes, in these 25 states the formation of the establishment of SHRC has taken place. Okay, and in this not. So if you remember these three names, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Nagaland. Okay, I am repeating it again. Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Nagaland. These are the states which do not form the SHRC, that is the States Human Rights Commission. So I hope till now here it is clear to all of you that which states have formed SHRC and which states have not formed SHRC, and SHRC has taken place, its shape on the basis of which act. Okay. So all these three things is clear to all of you or not? Only clear, then I will move. Okay, when I understand that this is an easy one and I am able to clarify all those things, only I will move to the next slide, because you are not live to us, okay, or not you are sitting behind or sitting in front of me. So how can I analyze that all of you are getting it properly? So I just assume that I have given my best, tried my best to clarify all those things. If I am satisfied only with me, then I will move to the next slide. Okay, so I hope till now all those three slides are clear. So that's why I am moving to the next one. So let's see the SHRCs. Why S has been written? Because see, NHRC is only one in India, but there are so many SHRC because there are so many states. Okay, because there are so many states in India, 28 states, and 25 states have established SHRC. So there are total, how many SHRC in India has been set up till now? There are 25 SHRCs. Okay, but NHRC is only one, not apart from that. So the SHRCs are the watchdog of human rights in the states. See the same thing. The same things here repeated. If we remove here from SHRC and include here NHRC and R in place of is, then it will call it the NHRC is the watchdog of the human rights in the states, in the Union of India, and it means at the central level. And here the SHRCs are the watchdog of human rights in the states. Watchdog means, I hope I have given the examples of parents and son and daughter. I hope you have gripped on those examples. I have given one of the simplest examples. Watchdog means keep eyes. Okay, keep eyes means I am teaching here of this slide, then I am keeping my eye on, so that no simple word is going to be left by me. Okay, so I am watchdog to watch this slide. Okay, keeping my eyes open. Okay, really carefully. So watchdog means, okay, keep eyes. So the SHRC like NHRC is also playing the role of watchdog, okay, of the human rights in India. So in the same way, SHRCs are also playing the same role of watchdog in their respective states. If there is SHRC of UP, then how that SHRC will look the human rights in Bihar? How? Only if the SHRC of Bihar will look after the human rights of Bihar, and SHRC of UP will see the matters of human rights of UP, and further the same respective for all of the states of till now 25 states. Okay. So hope it is clear to all of you. It is a simple one. It is the same one that I have cleared in NHRC topic. So I hope there is no difficulty in covering those slides. So for that I am moving to the next slide for further information. Now we will see composition of SHRC. I have told you the composition of NHRC, under which one is chairperson. Okay, then 5 members, again there are 7 members, those 7 members are fixed one. Okay, here the composition is somehow different. Okay, here it is less members, only I think it's only 3 members, only very few members, but in NHRC there are total 13 members. Okay, 1 chairperson, 5 members, okay, appointed members, and 7 are fixed ones. So 7, 5, 12 and plus 1 chairperson is 13. But here I think it is 3, but it will be clear more, okay, more visible in upcoming slides. So now we will see the composition of SHRC. If you have got the whole things about the composition of NHRC, then it becomes so easy for you to grip on the SHRC topic. So let's see about the members of composition of framework of SHRC, that is the State Human Rights Commission. So let's see. Chairperson of SHRC. So let's see, retired chief justice or judge of a high court. Here there is no role of Supreme Court, only role of High Court. Okay, if there is chief judge, retired chief judge of High Court, retired chief judge or judge, okay, it means in the simple way, just remember it. Even any judge of High Court who has got retirement is eligible to become chairperson of SHRC. In the simple language I am telling you. If you are confusing in it, in the most of the simple language I am telling you, any judge who has served in the High Court, okay, any judge who has served in the High Court after retirement, either they are chief judge or a normal judge, after retirement that judge is eligible to become chairperson of a State Human Rights Commission. Is it clear? So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. So one member completed, the head one, that is chairperson. Now let's see about other members. See, members, now it comes about members. There are 5 members. Apart from those 7 fixed members, there are mainly 5 members in NHRC. But here what is different from NHRC? Just look here. A serving or retired judge of a High Court for the district judge, or here is not for, or, okay, I am just removing it so that there will be no confusion here. Okay, see, a serving or retired judge. In chairperson it must be retired judge or chief judge, anything, but for member either that is a retired or present judge, sitting judge, okay, but that should not be chief judge. Okay, chief judge should not be. Chief judge, present chief judge or retired chief judge of any state cannot become as a member of SHRC. He is eligible to become chairperson of SHRC. Okay, but see, since it is really confusing, okay, really confusing, because the whole things look like a similar, retired, sitting, present, chief judge, Supreme Court, High Courts. So these will look so complicated, but when we will read it again and again 4 to 5 times, then definitely it will be clear. In one time it is so difficult to clarify all those things. Okay, so a serving means present judge who is working in High Court. I am talking only about judge. Okay, that's why I am always telling all of you that hear my words clearly, because if you are moving judge and in examination there will be given a chief judge, then your answer will be wrong. So see, a serving judge means present judge of High Court or even a retired judge of High Court. Okay, or the district judge in the state. District judge, district judge, जिला न्यायालय, as in Hindi, जिला न्यायालय. Okay, so district judge in the state with a minimum of 7-year experience as a district judge means if any judge who is not a judge of High Court, see, any present judge or any retired judge, I am not talking about any chief judge, I am just talking about judge. So hear my word clearly, any present judge or any retired judge of High Court, is eligible to become a member of which one? SHRC. So see here common. See. Look carefully. See, for chairperson, either retired chief judge, okay, retired chief judge or retired judge only of High Court. Getting? For members position, there is no role of chief judge. Okay, there is no role of chief judge. Fine. Only judge, either a present judge who is working currently in High Court, present judge only, J means judge and CJ means chief judge. Okay, or a current judge means retired judge, present judge or retired judge. So now find the similarity. Is anyone is similar in both of them? Find out. Yes or no? Tell me if any is similar or not. Not at all. See, here is chief judge, here nothing chief judge is mentioned, here is judge, but till retired judge, and here is present judge, and here is retired judge. So definitely this is matching. Here is confusion. In the other way, UPSC can ask question that retired judge of a High Court is eligible for chairperson and as well as eligible for members of HSRC too. So that statement is correct only because of this one. See. Okay, so try to correlate each and every parts, each and every facts. Otherwise you will read the whole things, you know the whole things, then yet you will not able to mark the correct answer. Okay, mark the correct answer. So fine. So for members eligibility of High Court is clear. Now tell. Okay, see, I am talking about the first member. Okay, first members. Inside members I am talking about the first members. Now what happened? If there is a judge who is not a judge of High Court, then can that judge become a member of SHRC? Yes. If that judge is a judge in district court, okay, in each and every district of every state, there is a district court. Okay, district court, Jila Nyayalaya, that is called. So see, if any judge who has experience of as a district judge of 7 years at least, okay, at least 7 years of experience as a district judge in the respective state, means in the state which is become to member of SHRC. So if he has experience as a district judge for 7 years minimum, then that judge is also eligible to become a member of SHRC. So either this one or this one. Okay, this is number one for only one person. You cannot choose both person from this one. Okay, for the second person, membership of second person inside SHRC, the eligibility criteria is different, not the same one. So I hope till now it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. First of all, I have to erase it. Now let's see. See, till now I have covered about chairperson and out of members, about one member eligibility criteria I have told you. Now I will come to the in membership. Okay, member number 2, what are the eligibility criteria? See, the eligibility criteria for becoming a member of HSRC is a person having knowledge of practical experience with respect to human rights. If any person who has practical experience, mean field experience, okay, working experience, not theoretical experience, it's about practical experience with respect to human rights, because ultimately these all things organizations have been set up only for protection of human rights, okay, guaranteed by the Constitution of India. So if any person having proper and practical knowledge of human rights, then that person is also eligible to become a member of SHRC. Okay, so a question may come that anyone can ask this question. This is not a preliminary question, but anyone can ask this question even in interview too, that is it possible that a retired judge of a High Court is one member of SHRC and a district judge who has served in 7 years in the same state as a district judge is also become a member of SHRC in the same year? Then it is possible? No, it is not possible, because those two criteria in number one member, okay, you can choose only one, okay, because only 2 members present in SHRC apart from chairperson. So you have to select other member who is fulfilling this criteria. Here is no or option available like district judge. Here is the fixed one. Okay, here is the fixed one. So don't confuse in it. Okay, this is called the depth of knowledge. Fine. I hope it is clear to all of you. So should I move to the next one? So I am moving. Okay. Now let's see. Here the only 3 members present in SHRC, that is chairperson and members out of 2 members. Okay, for membership number 1 there are 2 eligibility criteria, and for membership 2 there are only 1 eligibility criteria, that is practical knowledge of human rights. So let's see some more facts related to SHRC. A sitting judge of a high court, here is or not ordered. First of all I have to erase it, otherwise it will be really confused to all of you. See, a sitting judge of a high court or a sitting district judge of court, sitting district judge court means, see clearly here is not talking about retired judge. Okay, this kind of question will be asked by UPSC. They will give that retired judge of high court can be appointed only by the consultation of Supreme Court or High Court. So no, this is incorrect. Here is no retired word mentioned. Okay, no retired word mentioned. So only if there is any present judge, sitting judge of High Court or a sitting district judge in district court having experience of at least 7 years, remember it. So if, I am repeating it again, if any present judge of High Court or any 7-year experience district judge of any district court, then they cannot be appointed directly. They can be appointed under SHRC only after consultation with the chief judge of the High Court of the respective state. Respective state means if this SHRC has been set up for Maharashtra, then High Court of Maharashtra. Okay, means respective each and every. So this is also covered in yesterday class about NHRC. Okay, that is here it is High Court. There it is apart from High Court there is mentioned that Chief Justice of India. There is no mention Supreme Court. Okay, here is mentioned as Chief Judge of High Court. There is mentioned as Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Okay, only this is the difference. Otherwise, I hope there is no difference. So remember it. Here is nothing mentioned retired judge. If any judge is retired, then who is appointing that retired judge as a member of SHRC, then there is no consultation. There is no need to consult Chief Judge of High Court. There is no need. Need is come only when the present judge we will talking about. Okay. So see, I am repeating it again. A sitting judge of a High Court or a sitting district judge court that have experienced 7 years can also be appointed only after consultation with the chief judge. So who will appoint? We will all clarify it. So anyone will appoint, I will give the name, but that person will not able to appoint directly, particularly these persons. Appoint only after the consultation of the chief judge of that respective High Court. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. First of all, I have to erase it. See, appointed, all these members will be appointed by whom? So appointed by the governor. See, in NHRC appointment will be done by whom? It is President of India, but not directly. If there is matter of about judge, then first of all concern to Chief Justice of India. Here and for remaining thing in NHRC there is a 6-member committee who will suggest the name to President and President will appoint. But in SHRC appointed by governor, okay, governor of respective states. Okay, but in matter of appointed by governor, but when in matter of judge related to present judge of High Court or District Court, then there is no role of which one? Any committee. Okay, any committee member. There is only role of Chief Judge of High Court, respective states. But just understand, these all members or even chairperson are appointed by the governor on the recommendations of a 4 or 6 member committee. Here it is written 4 or 6. 4, either 4 or either 6. Okay, that in NHRC it is fixed one, that is 6 members. Okay, that is Prime Minister as it said. Fine. Are you getting it? Speaker of Lok Sabha, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha and Leader of Opposition in Rajya Sabha, and the last one, that is in Union Home Minister. Till now I hope all you have remembered it. So here it is two things given, either 4-member committee or either 6-member committee will suggest the name to governor, and then governor will appoint those person as either chairperson of SHRC or members of SHRC. But if there will be any name suggested by these persons who is a present judge of High Court or District Court, then governor had to consult. Okay, governor had to consult first of all chief judge of that respective High Court. Fine. I hope it is clear that 4 or 6 member. Now I will tell you that who will include in these 4 members and in this 6 members committee, who will suggest the name to governor to appoint as chairperson or as a members of a state human rights commission to that particular state. See, again, don't confusion it. This committee is different in each and every state. Not like that this committee is fixed for this committee has been fixed and this will pick and suggest the name to all the governors of all the states. No, in each and every state there is a separate 4 or 6 member committee. Why 4 or 6? You will learn about it. I will teach you it and everything. Okay, so just stay with us. I am moving to the next slide. Then it will be cleared a lot more. See, the first one, as in NHRC, the 6-member committee, the Prime Minister, as it said, as a member. Prime Minister was a member under that 6-member category to 6-member committee, and apart from member, Prime Minister is head of that committee. In the same way, in SHRC, appointment suggestions name given to governor, in that 4 or 6, why those 4 or 6? You will get after 1 or 2 slides. Okay, after 2 slides. Why that is 4 or 6? So the first one is Chief Minister, as it said. So is it easy? Really it is easy. Second one, a Speaker of Legislative Assembly. A Speaker of Legislative Assembly. Okay, so I am moving to the next slide. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now a State Home Minister. That part there is Union Home Minister in NHRC. Here is a State Home Minister. Leader of Opposition is Legislative Assembly. See, there are 2 types of assembly in a state. There is possibility. One is Legislative Assembly and one is Legislative Council. Okay. So only in 6 states, both are present, Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. So it is upon a state that either that a state wants to, it is compulsory, it is present in each and every state, in all 28 states. Out of all 28 states, in 3 union territories, it is also present. That is Puducherry, Delhi, and which one? Delhi, Puducherry, and Chandigarh. Okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So let's see. In all the states, there must be Legislative Assembly, but there is possibility that if any out of 28 states, if any state wants to establish Legislative Council too, then a state can demand from central government and central government can give permission to set up Legislative Council. So till now only 6 states have Legislative Council, only 6 states. Okay, West Bengal is trying to formulate Legislative Council in his state. Okay, is trying, demanding from central government. But right now, till now, only 6 states have both these houses. This is compulsory. This will be present in each and every state, and this will be present at present time 6 states. Okay, even if out of the 6 states, even if any state wants that, now there is no need of this Legislative Council, and only money is wasting on this Legislative Council. There is no developing work is going on by this. There is no need to continue this Legislative Council. Then that state can demand to remove that Legislative Council from his state, demanding to the central government, and central government can give permission. Okay, central government can give permission to remove it. It is possible. Added, removed. Is it possible? So see, out of 4 or 6 members, Chief Minister, as it said. Okay, then a Speaker of Legislative Assembly. Okay, a Speaker of Legislative Assembly. Third is a State Union Minister, and the fourth is Leader of Opposition in Legislative Assembly. Okay, Let's move to the next slide. So these are the 4 ones. These must be necessary. Okay, these must be necessary. This should be present in that committee, 4-member committee. Okay, but if number 5 and number 6 is available at that time, then both should present in that meeting. That's why it is written at 4 or 6. Those 4 are compulsory. Those should be present in committee, in that member committee. Okay, but these 2 is not. This is not must. If available, then can present. If not available, then only those 4 will present. Okay, so I remain on its slide. I will just erase it, then I will finish the whole things. So see, if available in that location, then number 5 is chairman of legislative council. Legislative council only in 6 states. In which state this legislative council is present, I will also tell you. Okay, I will also give those names that in which states these legislative councils are formed. Which are those 6 states? I will provide the name after this slide maybe. So chairman of legislative council, see the relation. See here. First of all, NHRC, here is SHRC. Okay, NHRC, SHRC. PM, as it said, here is CM, as it said. Okay, as it said. Got it? Number 1. Number 2, here it is, which one? A speaker of Lok Sabha, a speaker of Lok Sabha, speaker of Lok Sabha. Here it is a speaker of Legislative Assembly. Number 3, okay, number 3, here it is Union Home Minister. Here it is a State Home Minister. Number 4, here it is, which one? All things have been cleared. Okay, or not? Leader of opposition. Okay, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. Here it is leader of opposition in Legislative Assembly. Number 5, here it is a chairman of Legislative Council, and in that place in NHRC it is called as deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha. Here it is chairman of Legislative Council. Okay. Number 6 and the last one, in that one, that is leader of opposition of Rajya Sabha, and here leader of opposition of Legislative Council, not Assembly. So I am repeating it again. This is NHRC, this is SHRC. Okay, here it is 6-member committee, here it is 4 or 6. These 4 are compulsory, 1, 2, 3, 4. If those both are present, then they can attend, or otherwise if only these 4 are present, these are must. So see, in NHRC Prime Minister 1 member and he is head 2. In SHRC Chief Minister 1 member and is head 2. Second number, okay, a speaker of Lok Sabha. In SHRC in place of a speaker of Lok Sabha, here it is a speaker of Legislative Assembly, not council. Third one, okay, Union Home Minister, means that is Home Minister of India, and in place of Union Home Minister in SHRC it is a State Home Minister. Okay, Home Minister of respective states. Number 4, leader of opposition of Lok Sabha. Okay, and leader of opposition of Lok Sabha have a cabinet minister rank. Okay, so leader of opposition of Lok Sabha, number 4. So in place of leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, here is in SHRC here is leader of opposition of Legislative Assembly. Okay, so these 6 are compulsory in NHRC, but only these 4 are compulsory in SHRC. If remaining both of them are present, then can. So the things are correlated. See, here is number 5 is deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, but here is not deputy, here is chairman of Legislative Council. Here number 6, leader of opposition on Rajya Sabha. Here it is leader of opposition in Legislative Council. Rajya Sabha Council, Lok Sabha Assembly. So I hope this 5 number or 6 number member is completely to all of you. Now I am moving to the next slide. Okay, so let's move. I am giving those names who have legislative councils too. So those are the only 6 states. See, those are only 6 states which have number 1 Andhra Pradesh. You can, anyways, it is not compulsory serial wise. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. It will be easily remembered because Telangana has become a state by braceting of Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh, Telangana both are. So Andhra Pradesh and number 2 Telangana. You can easily remember. Number 3, Bihar and his border state, that is UP. Okay, so these are really 4 1 easy. Number 5 is just you can call it Maharashtra, and number 6 is Karnataka. Maharashtra, Karnataka. Okay, somehow they are interrelated, little with border sharing. So Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, both are similar one because Telangana has become a state by bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, by dividing Andhra Pradesh, Telangana is created. So Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka. These are 6 states at present time which have legislative councils too, and legislative assembly will present also, because legislative assembly is compulsory. Only then there will be a chief minister each and every state. Chief minister becomes by legislative assembly polls, not by legislative council poll. Okay, MLA, MLC. Okay, so members of legislative assembly, members of legislative councils, both are different things. So I hope it is clear. If any other remaining I will cover, otherwise I will finish my lecture itself. Okay, so let's see if any slide remaining. Yes, see, they will, all the members, either they are chairperson or those 2 members, all will they hold the office for 3 years, or either they attend the age of 70 years, whichever will earlier. I have given you the example. If you are confusing in this one, see, this is the same. Okay, the same things of NHRC. There is no different. Even there is no single % difference from NHRC. So if you are confusing at, see, either they are become a member or chairperson for 3 years, or if they become an age of 70 years of age, then if anyone will be fulfilled, which will be fulfilled earlier, that will be termed as his retirement. Okay, retirement means removed from that SHRC. So if you are confusing in it, I have given the examples in previous lectures of NHRC. Previous lectures. Okay, so you can go to that lecture, preview, or either the day before yesterday lecture. Okay, you can see that part. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next one. See, eligible for reappointment means after over 3-year term over, not 70 years, because once you cross your 70 years age, you are not eligible to again reappoint. Okay, reappoint of under SHRC or NHRC 2. Okay, so it is the same thing that NHRC. So if previous slide and this slide, the same thing, no difference from NHRC in both those slides. So if they have completed 3 years term in SHRC, after that person will be removed. Again, if the committee suggests his name to governor that please appoint these persons again under members or chairperson as SHRC, then that person is eligible to again reappoint in SHRC or even in NHRC to anything. So SHRC, okay, fine, or you got it, but what happened? But if they are crossed their 70 years, then no chance of reappointment. Only if you are below 70 years, then you can be appointed. So hope it is clear. But not for further employment under the state or the central government. But once you have served, you have given the service in SHRC as well as in NHRC too. Okay, because in NHRC I have given the example. So in that session I will give only for example of SHRC. If any member or chairperson has given his service under SHRC, then that person is not eligible to do any state or central level job. Okay, that is fine. In central or state level schemes, no. He can be again reappointed or she can be again reappointed in the same SHRC too if they not attain their 70 years. Can be, but only in SHRC, but not elsewhere, not eligible. So I hope it is clear to all of you. It is the same one that NHRC which I have covered yesterday. Okay, yesterday or the day before yesterday. I hope it was yesterday class. So if any other remaining, I will cover. So now it's over. So about SHRC, I think the whole thing is clear to all of you. If anyone is remaining, I will cover in tomorrow's session. Otherwise, I will finish here my lecture itself. Okay, so I hope both the classes about NHRC and SHRC, it has taken 3 lectures to complete NHRC and SHRC. I have completed it. Okay, if any other remaining I will cover, but I hope there is no important facts remaining till now about after covering these classes. So I hope these are really interesting one about NHRCs and SHRCs. So we will meet tomorrow again. So thank you to all of all. Thank you so much.